Today, last your NA host who messes up every stream, Aria, and we also have
Eris, hello everyone. How are we doing today?
we're both loud. So we're gonna start off with pulling the roster for Hati. Same people, anyone who was here last week play. Other than Lucian is not in our first map today.
All right. So, the big thing that's going to be coming out of both of these teams, especially as we're vying for this last playoff spot, is really going to be about what kind of compositions we're going to be seeing here. Are we going to be seeing like kind of like a rush comp coming out? Like obviously we see here looking at these favorite players for Hati. Are we going to see something like this Junker Queen comp? Junker Queen is in a pretty good spot after the Winston buffs and being fairly anti-dive. So it'll be interesting to see if they utilize something like that. Likewise, it'll be interesting to see if a team like XL2 will be able to find some sort of rhythm if they decide to go for more of a dive look. Speaking of XL2, let's look at their roster. As we see, we have A7 Ghost repping the Doomfist here as their favorite hero.
I'm totally focusing on Sonic playing Lucio. That's more important to me. It should be Speedy, but I mean Sonic works too.
I mean, Speedy also plays a fast hero. Cybernetic Genji, I would say, also kind of falls into that category. So, with both of those factors kind of playing, see what I did there? And if you don't know, Factor is one of the sponsors of the stream.
Which I will actually put that in chat for you guys.
Perfect.
Factor is actually very similar to HelloFresh, but they are keto friendly. So if you are on any specific diet, they offer much more dietary restriction needs.
So, as we begin to get ready for our first map here, I would like to point out that the first map is going to be Oasis, which is a map that has seen this wide variety of comps here. Oasis, you typically see you can see some just a whole multitude of different comps. Dive is very popular at times, but also when
Thank you, Shin.
Thank you, Shin, for the prime sub.
Glad it actually showed up on stream this time. You were the first one to get one to show up on stream.
Yippee!
Alright, it looks like we are actually ready to start our first map 1 minute late from being on time, but we were actually supposed to start at 8:20, so this works for me.
Perfect. So as we can see here, we have our two compositions coming out. Let's see if this is legitimately what I see. I mean, it is still in the waiting for players phase as the code starts to, get ready and function.
Initiating match.
It's gonna be a little bit of a mystery here before we get to see what kind of compositions are running.
I forgot to do everyone's predictions so you can gamble. XL2 is already in the options. 5 minutes. Here's your gambling for grapes.
Who doesn't like gambling? I like gambling.
Ready for battle.
Oh, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. We're gonna have the dive versus the anti-dive. It'll be the one for the ages. For chance. Can't just say for chance.
Baited by an ad on my own stream.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the
That's someone
objective.
going over towards XL2 here. XL2, team here we got in yellow, is already coming out. We do see the Junker Queen rush like I was talking about.
Hey, Doc!
Oh, and they're running. If you're Hati here, I think you just give up that high ground and kind of
Objectives mine.
Some adjustment going on here. But very nice game, in all honesty.
We're repping sticks in chat over there. Yeah, Tim and the two cats.
Okay, they are actually where Renedex setting up. And they start talking about they use smart just like that. What a I believe that's easy that.
I think die. That one didn't go off. So now I'm gonna go play an audio for you because you deserve it. Please hold on.
She's gonna blow.
It'll be at 70. Everything. We'll do the testing browser.
Do something.
Using the bob.
Feels good, huh?
Really
Hey.
I think as long as they keep their doing this stuff. Wow, that's a lot of things happening. I think the biggest thing I'm seeing, Hati is just
sound therapy?
they're running this rush pump that's supposed to like go onto the back line, but who do you even go on here? Like you obviously can't really go on the Lucio, he'll just run away. Jericho will keep you run away.
There's some things happening. Imagine taking a couple of this
Both the blazes on the side of Hati, but unable to find any
Meteor strike!
Yeah, I think there's zeros to start us off.
I can't deny how much I love watching console aim. It's so jittery and just complete nonsense.
But it works.
It does what it needs to do, and that's all that matters.
Ready for battle.
Tasted our world-famous olives.
Listened to your album the other day.
Did you like it?
Not sure there was enough bass. I could almost hear the other sounds.
I'll try again next time.
Funny.
What are we looking at? What are you guys doing?
They're throwing roses.
Thanks.
For you just get to throw the rose.
One.
Yeah, it's part of the, it's the inspect for the mythic, I did just get that mythic weapon. I still need to get the upgrade, but I don't have an upgrade on it. Who wants to donate to the mythic? It's basically my budget. It's not really involved. If they didn't have as much movement as they did, that would have been 4 people.
What a punch.
Turn our audio up. Inside can let me know if that makes it any better.
Wise decision.
Moira is such a rough ordeal. The cannibal is
Very bad. And also, kind of like not even talking about that.
oh, relax.
Overwatch servers.
I love Overwatch servers.
do feel like there's just a fundamental conflict. They do not understand what they're trying to do with this comp. They don't know who to rush on because there is no one to rush on. I mean, the only option they have now is Zaza, who's playing on high ground, but then taking away your only means of mobility by removing that Lucio.
What are you doing over there? What are we doing? We're just crouching around.
I believe, like,
Honestly, of course.
but it's 75%, and they're still getting to their first ult now. Dude,
Hopefully they don't get hurt though.
and they do fall to the Bob. Looks like they are going to potentially be able to flip, although Bob does pick up 2, making it an even fight now. Whether or not they can get this Moira, which they are, it's gonna be, that's gonna be it. I mean, they're just gonna have some cleanup now. So that jumper, that's gonna be all she wrote.
You can definitely turn the down a little bit to match our audio. We'll be testing throughout.
I was just, honestly, more than anything, I don't even feel like there was a lot of skill difference. I don't feel like there was a lot of outplaying. I just think Hati didn't know how to play their comp. They didn't know how to respond to the Doom, and they didn't know how to play together as a team. I think that's the honest truth of the matter.
I do not recall what the map pool is. Oh wait, that's not their map pool.
We are gaming.
Arya's doing bad at being a host, as always.
No, you're not.
Could you grab my phone?
For sure.
Because I definitely just went, where's my phone?
Plugged in. Where it always is. You'll never guess.
I will never know where my phone is at any
You left it. Every time.
Also, we get to choose our prediction outcome, which was XL2.
Yep.
And I am going to run an ad break so it doesn't happen mid-map, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Our pretty little overlays. We are going to Hollywood for map 2, as chosen by Hati. Bless you.
Thank
You guys didn't hear it, but I can see. We do have Hati on the defense. I low-key didn't ask them, but it's okay. No one's gonna. Anyways, we're gonna put up the channel point gambling. If I can remember what names are what.
Do you guys like gambling?
I love gambling. I have a problem.
I finance.
No, that's not true.
I used to.
No, that's also not true.
No?
No?
Oh, my bad.
I haven't gambled any money that wasn't free.
That's true. And then you turn around free money into more money.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see what comps we got going here. Alright, and it looks like we have a ball comp. See if we can do it on them. They're going hard and fast. Let's see if they roll.
That's what she said.
Oh, jeez.
PG stream, PG stream.
Oh, and that dude is already next. Usually comes in a little bit late. And it looks like XL2 is just knowing exactly how they're going to take this. On a solo in the back. Easiest time in their life. And there goes the Jericho. They're just running this dive comp. Like, there's no if and ors or buts about it. They are just running this dive comp, and there's no answer for it. At least as of yet. They did try to switch over to the Diva, maybe to have mitigate some of that dive, but so far it has not been working. They're just way too split, way too isolated, not able to peel at all. I can somewhat understand the idea behind this backline, but once again, I feel like anytime you're going against a dive, if you're not going to give that on a brig, don't play on. I feel like it truly is as simple as that. If you're not going to give them a brig to help peel, a certified peeler, don't play the Ana. That Ana is going to get slammed, and get a free ult card, then she's going to come in and just wait for this next one to fall. Like, Genji's getting really low, but double pocket's going to be enough to help support them. And that's the thing that you see with these ball comps, is the ball can go in by themselves and get out for free. And this Diva won't be able to do anything against this kind of 4-stacked team, so to say. Supports can just sit back and heal each other while the dive comes through. It's really just going to be this kind of two-man show here we see coming in from Ghost and Speedy. Sonica, though, is getting in on the action. Let's see if they're getting a kill there on the opposing Genji, helping out Speedy in that duel.
Unfortunately, in this comp, it doesn't feel like Lynn on the Tracer can really get in and do anything, and that's the unfortunate thing about heavily maining one character so much. You get stuck in compositions that aren't always right. Oh, that
Wasn't meant to do. Got safe when I jumped it, and I ultimately think this is another example of I understand what they're trying to do, but the backline is making their life so much more difficult than it needs to be. I think you could, even if you switch it to like a Lucio Kiri composition here, something that's just a bit more survivable and can survive a like a ball dive or this Genji dive. I mean, what do you really have to contest with?
I mean, if you know that the other team is playing this Genji and that's the character that he consistently mains, you really do need that brig instead of the Kiri, unless you are fully sending on this Genji that he can't hurt you.
Better yet, I think you just switch off the Ana. I mean, maybe they're trying to build us like a nano blade here. Like, maybe that's the idea, but it just doesn't make sense. Because that Curie is not going to be able to keep up the Diva alone.
The nano blade's not going to, unfortunately, be able to do anything if you never get it on.
I think if you want to play a composition like Lucian and this team wants to play, you have to be using ults first. You have to be going fast. You see, they have what 3 ults built up here, and like there's not gonna be three more fights. Like use them now. And just like that, we see the Genji dead. They finally use one of their ults. It's not gonna matter. They still have 2 ults that haven't been used. They're holding on to this like.
You never got to use the Nano Blade. Like I was saying, if you don't have the opportunity to use it, it's never going to happen.
And this is what I'm saying. You have to be aggressive. Like you have to use these things early. If you are going to be playing a composition like that, you need to be the more aggressive team. Either that. Here's 2 ways that they can play this. On one hand, switch compositions entirely. Go for something that can rush down. Like this Ball and Genji are going to be separated and isolated from the 3. So you have a group of 2 and a group of 3. You're probably not going to be able to do anything about the Ball Genji. They're too fast, too mobile. This Ashe is going to be the focal point of breaking apart this composition. If you can get onto that Ashe and secure the kill there, and you are in that backline and can disrupt the supports from the side of XL2, their comp just falls apart. But if you are not going to do something that will be able to pressure this Ashe, you're not able to do something that this Ashe has been able to shoot completely for free. You can't do anything to shut her down.
Looks like they are still going to attempt to run this Kiri Ana, and I don't think them anymore.
Honestly, it's just getting to the point where I don't understand the Ana pick.
At least they're seeing a monkey swap. That could do some damage here.
I think that the monkey is able to isolate Zazo and is able to get that pressure onto the backline that they need. It could be it could be very beneficial, like especially if you're going with a 3-man dive with both DPS, even a 4-man dive if you want the Kiri to get involved. But once again, if you run something like that, if you are running a 4-man dive, your Ana is going to be alone. Your Ana is going to get dived by this Ball Genji. So once again, this composition just doesn't make sense because you intend to run with 4? Do you intend to only run 3? Because if you run only 3, you shouldn't be playing Winston. The Winston's going to draw too many resources, especially if I guess with a comp like this where you can't really do these kind of short, small, like micro dives.
Fortunately, again, Ana, the 3 can't do enough here to help Ana and help the rest of the team.
This is where you either need to play like a Kiri Brig and just set up like these micro dives and taking space, and having a 3-man dive, and just letting the Ana do the brunt of the work.
The Kiri Brig.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Ana Brig. Like, either that, or you just switch to Lucio and 5-man dive it. A missed jump there is going to really put this Winston in a really poor spot.
He got lucky in getting this Lucio pick here. He is going to end up going down, but they even get both supports in the process.
Is it going to be enough?
It's possible that they could still get this Ashe here, as long as Lynn doesn't die to the ball.
I think they're going to back up and see a little bit of room, and then they're in perfect contention to just completely recontest this before the tick even goes off. Speedy tick gets a kill, but it's instantly traded back out. This is a really nice off angle for this Ashe, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, and Zazo does get the pick, and once again, this is a great example. They got both supports, couldn't do anything. They can't isolate fights. That's the idea behind a Winston comp, is isolation and then execute it. You're not going to be able to do that against a Winston comp unless you're full sending. And with that armor, you just can't do that. So I need to see something different out of Hati. I need to. Early Mind's out, it's going to pick up Skillet. Once again, no mobility, can't do anything. And I would like to mention that as much as I'm talking about this Ana pick, I do not believe it is the skill or even really anything that Skillet is doing wrong.
These teams are so even that the composition matters so heavily.
It truly feels like this is a team that knows what they want to do with the comp versus one that does not. And I really believe that that makes such a big difference. I feel like the difference between knowing who to go on and how you want to go on them.
If Lynn can get a decent pulse here, even without the tank, have the potential to really do something.
Ooh, unfortunate. I don't actually like that idea to kind of see if you can get a tick off the back end. Because even if, as soon as they start noticing, that ball is going to be coming in their Mach 10. Tracer is going to triple blink in there. Like, they have so much mobility.
They don't have a trace.
Sorry. That Genji's going to come in there. That ball is going to come in there. Lucio's going to come in at Mach 10. They all move at Mach 10. It's just, it feels like they're trying to out-mobile a comp that's faster than them. That's running a Lucio.
That's the thing that I think they don't realize is that they don't have to be more mobile than them. They just have to kill them first.
But I feel like the only reason they won that fight was because they used their ult first and aggressively.
5 ult. 4 ult. Tracer didn't have theirs.
And yes, it was a very big ult dump, maybe just to get something done in overtime. Which, you know, I understand. That makes sense that you would invest that much to secure it.
Hopefully they don't see mine.
Oh, Zaza does pick up Skillet. The Suzu does come in late. But it looks like the Fury pick's starting to pay dividends here.
Like we're so worried about not C9ing that we C9.
Yeah.
There was no communication about who was gonna stay on the point. A lot of what happened there, again, is not skill based whatsoever. It's entirely just, it seems like it's communication.
Agreed. There seems to be a lack of understanding in what they want to do, how they want to do things, and honestly, just communication in general. Welcome back, everyone. We're going to be moving into map 3 here, which is going to be Esperanza. There we go. Maps have finally updated. There we go. Yes. So I think, personally, XL2 has the very heavy favorite coming here into map 3, just based off of how dominant their first 2 performances have been. Unless they can find, unless Hati can find something to finally, stop this dive. This is such a dive-centric map. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they have something in the back pocket to be able to come out here. What do you think?
I don't really have any personal opinions on this. I mean, I don't want to spend the entire time just agreeing with you and talking about dive and the exact same things we spent the last map talking about. So other than that, I have no personal opinion. This could potentially go. At this moment, we're just waiting for a ready check from Hati.
And once that occurs, we'll be able to go into the map. Everyone likes when we go into map, because that's why you watch. Because that's what the stream is. There we go. It looks like we are starting to go into the second map here, which Esperanza. Who doesn't love everyone's favorite Portuguese map?
I think I say this every single time.
Yes, Esperanza is in Portugal.
You know who's never gonna remember that?
Portugal.
Over to the screen so we can take a look at some composition choices.
We did see Ghosts kind of hinting at potentially at a MAGA look. Which, who doesn't love MAGA comps? Let's see if that is what they end up rolling out on, or if they were just doing a bit of pre-game teasing.
I do believe they prefer to be called A7, but I'm entirely.
Gotcha.
Don't quote me. Everyone's favorite.
Can we get quotations on the "Don't quote me"?
Don't quote me on.
Oh, interesting. This is not a comp you see, especially not on Esperanza. I have a few questions about this. Okay, looks like they are going to be switching off the Ramatra look.
Well, one team is. The other one, not so much.
I got scared there when I saw the Widow. The Widow and the Ramatra. A7 is wrapping around the right side, gonna get there far before anyone. It does surprise me though that both sides are running Lucio Kiri, which ultimately in this does feel like probably odd rotation there coming in from Big B, because it did seem to work as anything. Here we go. Nice small corridor. There's just lots of punching going through. Are they gonna be able to get it? Oh, it looks like so much is going on. There's so many individual things. And unfortunately, despite some pretty good positioning and being right in their face, they aren't able to get the kills. Taco is the next to fall, as Zazo is just clicking heads.
I also don't know if that should be a taco.
Damn. They just feel so lost. They need to play with tempo. Like, yes, your background's going to dive. Yes, they can peel for each other. Walk on somebody. Like, they have such a strong high ground advantage. Like, that Sunbird, do they know that right there? Potentially. Speedy does fall early though. That's a really nice pick. That's a lot of that like frontline damage that they're going to be experiencing. They're trying to go into the Lucio. Although Sonic is able to back up back up to retreat back to their Kiri and Ash. They do kind of forgo that. They are taking the bot back, but it may be for not. Slam doesn't end up catching anything, and Vortex is already out. It looks like we're back in a neutral fight. You almost feel like the neutral tends to favor the side of, ooh. There's nothing you can do about that. If you're just sitting there shooting the ball, and they just shoot you back and kill you, that just feels like miscommunication. It has it written all over it. The big bean is the next to fall as they are getting staggered out. And that is going to be the checkpoint coming in for the side of XL2. I mean, you're already playing the Sombra, but when you try to take 1v1s against the ball, who has a significantly larger health pool with similar damage output, I didn't see Virus come out, I didn't see Hat come out. I feel like if you're not going to be able to effectively get attacks down, you need to kind of switch off the Sombra here. There's not enough value that you can do from playing Sombra right now, unless you're being able to get those viruses. The skill of being kind of an unfortunate victim of that dive, the lead extends to over 100 meters now for the side of XL2. They're trying to get something started here, although Lin is the next to fall. They're just getting picked off one by one. These fights are getting staggered out. They're not. Ooh, that was some nice speed. That was actually a really nice kind of intro there. They just kind of hinted a little bit. Although I hate to call it hinting. That was a really good combo. They had the speed, they had annihilation. The only thing I don't like.
Good to see beat her blade, which we didn't, fall into the mud.
But at that same time, you use 3 of your kind of big ults there. I mean, you use EMP, you use Annihilation, Will Perfect, and you use B. And now you only have Kyrie Rush to match their Kyrie Rush. I guess by the time you break down the ultimate side of Hati has to invest there, but also at the same time, they don't have to invest in anything. If they push 111 meters already, the emphasis is definitely going to be on Hati to at least win 3 or 4 more fights to even get close to matching this game. And I don't understand how you can't give a victor. Dazo finally falls, being on 1 HP. And they are going to be able to get Skillet, or not Skillet, I'm sorry, the Lucio here from the side of XL2. But once again, they just managed to get out pretty safely, pretty unscathed. Like, they're not able to secure some of these kills. Like, you look at how low Jada is, and they just aren't able to get the conversions. Like, these 2 very crucial picks aren't able to get through. And A7 is just rolling through. Nice slam down into the backline. As A7 is looking for the 3rd pick of the fight. They look lost, they look confused. This has been, so far, fairly one-sided kind of affair. See Speedy diving to the backline. And he does get Speedy does get the smack off. Although it does fall, with how low that Ramat is getting. Yeah, it falls, which is another big kill. Coming through. It doesn't look like it's gonna amount to anything, unfortunately. More crucially, it's just the fact that they don't even have to push. I mean, this has just been one long extended fight in the middle of the point. But once again, these long extended fights do tend to favor the side of XL2. I mean, we had 3 minutes, about 3.5 minutes coming here as the Summer falls once more. Ooh, and Big Beans once again next to fall. Once again, this is a great example of they're just kind of getting staggered out. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to push the spot. In fact, you would almost prefer if you don't push the spot, right? I mean, you're not pushing any closer to their spawns, which means it takes longer for them to get back. You already know that they're having to come back from a long spawn. Why make it closer to them? They do finally decide to push it, get those forward spawns. Maybe we should see if they can close it out here. It's never over till it's over, that's for sure. But it certainly is starting to feel like an insurmountable lead. Although 2 big picks as the back line is picked up for the side of Hati, but they are able to trade it back instantly. In addition to Lin, they pulled a blade, there goes Big Bean, and there's only one thing left. And with that, it's going to be a team wipe. Despite getting both supports from the side of XL2 early, they are able to just pop those ults and keep on pushing. They know exactly where Lin is. Oh, Lin is so low. They do manage to get out. I mean, there's beat, there's Annihilation, roll credits. There's the other beat. And despite all of the ultimates, the only casualty is going to be Jita. Although, oh, they are able to trade out both Lucios. As the Curie is so low, and they do manage to trade out the other Curie. Oh, it's a very close fight. If they're able to... Zazo does fall, so it's going to be a 2v2. But anything that happens to be an even fight does tend to favor the side of XL2 here. They don't have to push. They don't have to do anything. They can just sit back, relax, regroup. Not getting any immediate push is only ever going to hurt Hati here. And XL2 is back on the move, pushing his bot far back into deep territory. A7 does pop shield early, as there is a switch made over to the Queen, potentially trying to get a little more cleave, trying to get more sustain. There's Shao, but with a nice disengage, not going to do anything. Zazo is hacked, as this Queen is just starting to rush down this backline. Zazo does fall, with a lot of that immediate damage down. And with that cleave damage coming down, Sonic is the next to fall to Big Beam. This Queen switch, I feel, has actually been very good. I mean, like, this is a comp that is starting to actually make sense. I think the Ramatra, while kind of good in the idea of, like, rushing down, just doesn't have the sustain if you're not getting adequate blocking to be able to survive through this. But now that you have a little bit more versatility through the Queen... Oh, and the Sombra just got poked out a little too early. And with Carnage out... Oh, that was a really nice knife. Lucio falls next, and looks like, despite a really good fight win, that looks like that's going to kind of be the end of the line for that fight, at the very least. Looks like there's probably going to be one more fight, and unless the miracles can kind of come in, unless they can put together some sort of streak of wins. This is a very hard lead to insurmount. The early mines just to be able to get themselves high ground. It absolutely is not a bad thing. With this Tracer so low. Here you're able to just use all your ults. 4 ults coming in from the side of XL2 to be able to clean this up. And just like that, it looks like it's going to be a pretty clean sweep. And with a dominant win, looks like that's going to be a 3-0 victory for the side of XL2.
We do get to do a quick MVP interview. So if you would like to choose an MVP on the side of XL2. You. I said you could pick.
There's several people that I think are very deserving of this. And I believe the person most deserving of MVP in this map is going to be A7. I think the amount of space that was created was just incredible and allowed them to do so much work.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you at all. A lot of tanks in this particular tier don't put on as much of a show, so to speak, as, you know, he was able to do.
I do also feel as though a lot of the, what's it called? A lot of the flashiness we were able to see out of, like, Speedy and Zazo came as a result of, you know, Daza wasn't even being bothered on the Ashe, and that was mostly due in part to the fact that A7 was in the backline, causing so much stir.
They're being goofy. He has declined the MVP interview. So with that, we will move on over to this screen. This is the final score, and that means XL2 will move on into playoffs. They get the last spot in the playoff bracket, which means they will face Styx on the 31st, which is next Friday, I believe. And it'll be at 8 p.m. EST. But if you guys stick around in about just under an hour, in about 45, 50 minutes or so, there will be another stream hosted by Rocky. And it'll be Tier 5. I don't remember which teams it is off the top of my head. You can catch them in just a little bit.
Absolutely. So thank you to everyone who came out and supported the stream. We always appreciate it. This has been your caster Eris and your host
Aria, and we will catch you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.